Hello, welcome back to the David Watson podcast. In this week's episode, I spoke with Nina again. We spoke last week, I think it was, and we didn't quite get to finish everything. And we had another chat today about soulmate dogs. I hope you enjoy the episode. Hello again. Welcome back. How are you doing?
Hi. I'm glad to be back.
And we're going to talk about, you had a story. We didn't get a chance to finish it last week when we spoke. You had a story about your dog. Is that right?
Yeah. So, and this was a very interesting how this whole thing started in 2009. It was in 2009. Me and my husband and two small dogs were living in the Tampa area, and out of the blue, and I didn't even know it was way before my awakening. It was way before I understood energy and love and actually any of it. I had this feeling that I want to get a big dog. And I go, let's get a big dog to my husband. And we weren't married at that time yet, but he goes, have you ever thought about German Shepherds? I go, no, let's check it out. So I go on Google and I put in German Shepherd. And as soon as I did that, this picture popped up. And I saw this dog. And it said 2 days left. This dog was going to be euthanized. I saw the face of this dog. I saw the eyes of this dog. And that was it. I could not get my heart. It was just, it took me. It was like, I got to have this dog. They can't kill this dog. I start writing. I start calling. So these people are telling me, they go, you don't want this dog. He's going to die. He's been really abused badly. I go, I don't care. I want him. No, he was in Auburn, Alabama, and I was near Tampa. They actually brought him to me in the van. And the interesting thing is, I didn't know what a bad shape he was in. He was, his normal weight became 140 pounds. He was a King Shepherd. Mm-hmm. I got him at 65 pounds. 3 years old. You could see every bone in his body. His back was broken. His ribs were broken. His legs were fractured. I don't know. He had wounds on his head. He had to have 3 surgeries just on his head to repair the damage that was done. And by the time, the worst thing was that he was catatonic. He would not, the only thing he responded was me. When he saw me, I was shocked when I saw him, but he kind of dragged himself to me and he put his nose in my hand and I could feel him shaking and I could feel the connection. He knew I was going to save him. It's like we connected right there and then. So within 2 months, his ears went up, his tail started wagging and a little. Now this became an issue because his back was fractured and it severed the nerve, so his tail never really wagged. He couldn't even, when he went to the bathroom, he couldn't lift his tail. But he became this incredible dog. I remember when I started walking him, I never needed a leash. He never left me. He was always next to me. And I was thinking to myself, this must be an angel. I didn't even understand the meaning of it at that time, but I remember walking and feeling this feeling of love that just took me over. It was almost like a euphoric high near that dog. It was something about that dog that connected me to something greater than me, which I didn't understand at that time. It was that love that I never felt before. Actually, I thought my grandfather sent him to me because my grandfather was the only person I knew who loved me when I was growing up. So, go fast forward when this dog, his name was Rufus. We named him Rufus. My husband named him Rufus because it was supposed to be his dog, but it turned out to be mine 100%. So we ended up getting another German Shepherd for my husband and named him Fred. So now we had Rufus and Fred. And when Rufus turned 11 years old, he all of a sudden stopped being able to literally get up. He became heavy. And I still, at that time, I couldn't channel. I didn't even know that any of it existed. But I did meet a man. It was just the beginning of my awakening. I met a man. His name was Gus, and he could. He it was the one who actually explained to me how to take energy from. You can take the energy from one person, put it into another person, and muscle test them. It's just energy. It's not the
Yeah.
personality, but you can. It's so when Rufus was 11 and all this was happening, I called Gus and I go, Gus, I think I need help to understand what's going on with my dog. He's not doing well. Like I could tell, he's not moving well. He's not getting up. So that was an extremely traumatic experience for me because we took his energy and put him into me, and I could actually start seeing things. There was this boy by the name Sammy that abused him, and the energies that were in him, the thoughts that kept coming up were Sammy hit me. Sammy hit me with a stick. Sammy kicked me. Sammy hurt me. So it turned out that we actually found out how he was hurt. His back was broken with a 2x4.
Oh.
Apparently, Sammy was a kid that abused him from the age 13 to age 16. He had a father that was hating Sammy. The father was the alcoholic in the family. I guess he was coming home and hurting Sammy, and Sammy was hurting the dog. And I got the whole picture, and I could actually see it. I cried, and then I also realized that the day that I got my dog, it told me that he was a year old. It turned out that he was 3. And just the thought of him enduring this for 3 years, I cried for 12 hours straight. I just cried, and then I remembered a technique that I learned. I rewrote the story in my head. I kind of put myself into his puppyhood. I picked him up before he got hurt the first time, took him to the park, kissed him, and kind of rewrote it in my head so I could stop crying. That's how traumatic it was for me to realize what was happening to him. But now I understood the emotions and everything that was going through him. So God's helped me clear this from him. It was a very great learning experience for me. But then other things started happening to him. He couldn't walk, like because of all the trauma he had. He couldn't get up off the ground, and he was very heavy at 142 pounds. You really cannot pick up this dog. So I told my husband, he goes, he says, we might have to get him a wheelchair or put him down. I go, no, don't even say that. I know God is going to bring me something. And literally 2 days after that, I ran in, I did a show, which I was bringing Rufus with me to work at that point, because if I wasn't around him, he got worse. Yeah. So I took him everywhere with me. And I took him, there was an expo where I was showing my equipment, and these guys walked in to my booth, and they start talking about stem cells for dogs.
Okay.
You know, like, keep talking. It's stem cells wasn't capsules. It was pretty expensive, but I jumped on it. He needed 5 capsules a day, which cost me $2,500 a month. But at that point, I didn't care.
Yeah.
In 4 days, he was walking. In a week, like walking, getting up and walking. In a week, he was running. And not only that, he was wagging his tail.
Nice.
For the first time in his life, at 11 years old, he started wagging his tail. In 2 weeks, he could go up and down the stairs. He was my miracle. In 3 months, he looked like he was 7 years old. People thought that I had a different new dog. Yeah. So he got a new lease on life. And so now, and I kept him on these stem cells for as long as I could. So now we had Fred, and now I'm going to fast forward to 2021, which is where the most incredible story happened, I think. I think the whole story is incredible, but Fred, when he was a puppy, he had parvo, and he was very sick. I don't know if you guys know, parvo is a deadly disease for puppies, and most of them die. But if you survive, you become very strong, but he also had a degenerative spine disease. There's a side effect, and he was in a lot of pain all the time. And he was 9 years old. And on Valentine's of 2021, he ate a buffalo frog, which we have here in Florida. They're poisonous. And he died. Just died. Like overnight, he's here, and then all of a sudden, he's gone. And he starts communicating with me from above. I can clearly hear him in my head. Now, by then, I can already channel, and I know what it is. And here's Fred. And Fred says, "Don't worry, I was supposed to leave. This is all the way it's supposed to be. You were not supposed to save me, and I'm coming right back. But you have to get me a girlfriend, and we're going to have puppies." So I tell my husband, I go, "Guess what? Your dog says we're going to get him a girlfriend, and we're going to have puppies." So he actually showed me, led me to a female that was appropriate, and we named her Abba because I heard her name. The way it sounded was like Abba, something like that, and I made it Abba. And a month and a half later, he found the body that he wanted. Now, this is what I learned from this experience. Very interesting. We as humans, when we incarnate, we have a soul and consciousness. We get into the body of our fetus, into our fetus body inside the mother when she's pregnant. Doesn't work like this with animals. When they're born, cats, dogs, all the animals, they're born with no soul or consciousness. They're born blind and deaf. After the first 3 weeks, the generic consciousness gets in, especially domestic animals, because they're here for us. This is the way it's designed. They literally here for us. So in 3 weeks, the generic consciousness gets in, so the dog knows it's a dog, cat knows it's a cat. That's all they know. When the right person picks them up, when there is when they run into the right person, or sometimes the dogs get lost. You never know. When they run into the right person they're supposed to be with, that's when the right soul and consciousness gets in, so that there is no mistakes in the universe. So I don't end up with your dog.
Yeah.
And you don't end up with my dog. So I didn't know any of this until this experience. So now I have these two beautiful German Shepherd puppies, a boy and a girl, and my Rufus, who's already 16 years old, is raising them. I had a pool. He swam every day, 21 laps. I throw the ball and he would swim. And he would teach them how to swim. He taught them how to go outside. Like, it was the interesting thing is when I brought both of them home, when they saw him, the moment they saw him, they ran up and rolled over, submitted to him like they knew him their entire life. It was very interesting to watch. They recognized each other because dogs don't forget their past lives. Okay. They remember everything. So now he raised these two puppies. 7 months later, November 21st, 2021, I wake up in the morning and I knew that Rufus was going to die. Like, he couldn't get up. Yeah. He was already 16 and a half. He just turned 16 and a half. I could see his kidneys were failing. I knew right away. I knew his heart was going. And I called the vet, and the vet came in and gave him a shot, and he was gone. And my earth got empty all of a sudden. It felt empty. Like, instantly, I could feel him gone. I knew that I was going to get him back, but it felt that feeling. Well, the crazy thing is that the next day, I found out that my female was pregnant. She was already pregnant. So I'm talking to him, just like I was talking to Fred. And I go, "Okay, when are you coming back?" He gives me a date, January 5th, 2022. We still in the end of November of 2021. She goes in labor. This is hilarious. It was December 15th of 2021, literally just 4 weeks after his death. She's sitting on the couch next to me. And I see herself looking down there. And I was on the phone with my friend in Sweden. And I all of a sudden I see something that looks like a chicken leg in between the cushions. I'm like, what is that? I get up and I go, it's a puppy. It's a puppy laying upside down. She dropped a puppy. Well, dropped a puppy is not a word. I ended up helping her deliver 10 puppies.
10.
10.
Jeez.
The first one that came out, the one that was in the cushions, was mine. That was mine. All the puppies were black and tan, just like mom and dad, except for one that was silver. The first puppy came out was silver. That was mine. Couldn't wait to get out. Well, anyway, so now I got these puppies. It was, by the way, it was a crazy experience. She would not feed them without me. I had to be up all night long with her feeding the puppies. It was a trip. And of course, you wouldn't believe the amount of energy and expenses that went into these puppies because I wanted them to have the best. And at 1 month, she stopped breastfeeding because of the teeth growing. So now I had all these puppies to feed. It was quite...
Yeah, it's a lot to take on.
Task. But the beautiful thing is that exactly on January 5th, when my dog said he was going to be here, that puppy recognized me. And I stopped talking to my dog over there. It's like I could actually tell he was here. I picked up the puppy and she came back as a girl, put her paws on my face like this and just licked my entire face. And I'm like, let's do this as much as we can because you're going to be so big so soon. I won't be able to pick you up. Mm-hmm. Well, she's 120 pounds now. She's going to be 3 years old. She looks just like him. She acts just like him. I adore mom and dad. I mean, they're precious.
Yeah.
But to have her, and the other day, for the last 5 years of Rufus's life, I used to bring him to work with me every day. Everybody to my spa. Everybody knew that there was a big German Shepherd. Everybody loved him. If there was not a so good client coming in, he would give me a bark and let me know to watch out for this person. We had our own thing. Well, about a week ago, I brought Thea, which is her name now, Thea, to work with me. I never brought her before. I wanted to give her the happy puppyhood that he never had in a past life. So she plays all day long, huge backyard. She's got her mom and dad. She's spoiled rotten. This was my promise to her. But I wanted to bring her to work. She came to work with me it's actually a different space, but everything is set up the same. She knew where to go. She's always been there. I had clients. She did exactly what he did, went and laid down outside the room. I literally felt like I was back in time. Like I had my dog right there with me, which I knew I did, but it's still such an amazing feeling to actually have it happen, right there.
No, but it is though, isn't it? When you feel that connection again.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And the connection I have with her, I call her my Rufus girl sometimes. Because I need her to know. Like, it's almost like she looks at me like, I am him, right? I'm like, yeah, I know. And I know the lives we've had together because I've seen them. He was my horse. He was a wolf. He was an elephant. And life when I was being held by Inquisition, Catholic Church, which apparently me and Catholic Church had few encounters in a few lifetimes. He was a mouse. like
Okay.
used to come see me as a mouse. I've seen all these lives. It's like
Yeah.
this. He's always been there. She's always been there, and it's almost like in this life, I feel like it's my turn.
Yeah.
It's my turn to give her back, to just to spoil her, just to make her so happy and so, because she gave up a lot for me through these lifetimes. I've seen it a lot.
Yeah.
So that's the story.
But it's interesting because so many people talk about pets that they have, like dogs and cats especially, but where they have this kind of connection to them, which is and you know, these can be experienced like dog owners who've had loads of dogs, and then like one dog comes along and they're just like, no, there's something different about this dog. This dog I've known before. This dog knows me. It's you know, you do get that that click, that connection with the dog.
You know, our brain gets in the way a lot of times.
Yeah.
Look at us as humans. We have this complex brain that's actually, I think, created to block us from feeling what the heart really says. Animals don't have it. That's why they remember their past lives. They don't have judgment. They're
No.
going to love you no matter what. We get to start all over again. But our brain is actually blocking us from realizing and saying, oh, yeah, this is the same dog. You know, like I talk to people, I've had maybe 15, 17 people that I've already helped get their animal back. It's not like they needed my help to get them back.
Yeah.
They needed my help understanding how it works and who the animal is and how to talk to them. And, you know, I talk to bats. I can feel them. They communicate to me. And I've had them actually ask me to tell my mommy or tell my daddy or tell my human. So whoever they address the person, that this is me.
Yeah.
They don't realize it's me. And then I tell them, I go, you know, you have to sit down with your dog and your cat and tell them, I know it's you. Even though you have a different name, I know it's you, because they kind of get hurt. They don't understand why we don't remember, because they remember. It's very interesting. They're very sensitive.
Yeah.
So
Go on.
I was going to say, for anybody who's listening to this, if you have a dog or a cat that you think that was your dog or cat before, please tell them that. It will open up all kinds of different connections with this animal, because they sometimes they just don't understand, and it hurts their feelings, interestingly.
No, I can believe that. I can believe that. My dog she's incredibly sensitive, and I don't know what happened to her before she came to me, but you can't raise your voice around her, because it just makes her nervous, and she'll go off into another room and just stay there for hours on end. So, you know,
It's a trauma. I can clear it from her, if you don't mind.
no, go ahead. Yeah.
I do it after we done recording.
Yeah.
Stay on, I'll clear. But what I'm getting, she was your bird. There is a life that you had with her, that she was your bird. And I think, did you ever think that you were a pirate? Because you had a life as a pirate.
Okay, I might have, but when you said about bird, I used to have a bird when I was a teenager. I had a cockatiel.
That's your bird.
Yeah, that was really friendly.
But she was also in a past life.
Yeah,
as your bird, and as your horse. She was definitely your horse.
Okay.
And I also seen a husky dog.
All right.
She was a husky in another life. For you guys had quite a few lives together, but it I don't know why in that life she was a bird, but it had something to do with the easiest way to be near you because your parents didn't want a dog at that time or something. I don't. This is what I just got.
Don't know.
So she always wants to be near you.
Yeah, she does. My brother Nick's name's Velcro because she's always with me.
Yeah, that's what I just got. She always wants to be near you.
Yeah, she
She's
does.
you up, and it's been through lifetimes. And this is what we get. This is our support. I have three of my dogs right now, and I have five reincarnated. Well, we have Fred, who is the father now.
Yeah.
His name is Alpha. I have Rufus, who is Sia now. And I also have a white teddy bear, which is a combination of Bichon and Shih Tzu, who was my dog twice before in this life. And this was another interesting story how this dog came about. It's like I have these reincarnation stories that I've learned from. I had a dog in 1998, a little cockapoo that I found, and was in the kennel, and we had this huge connection. And um, I had to leave town, and my neighbor was dog. She was in love with this cockapoo. His name was Buddy, and she was gonna doggy sit for me. When I came home, she was going with my dog, which I knew the dog was gonna be fine, but I loved that little dog so much. And then in 2018, I started dreaming and thinking about this dog, and I just went to visit my daughter who had a Shih Tzu Bichon mix, and I wanted to get a dog like that, and I just instantly knew, okay, he just got reincarnated as that dog. And sure enough, a month later, I found just literally right down the street, and I knew it was a little girl, and it's the same dog. It's my body from 1998 came back as the dog that I wanted. Oh, by the way, they come back as what you want them to come back as. Like I wanted my German Shepherd to
Yeah.
come back looking exactly the way he did in a past life. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out how that was going to happen because mom and dad are completely different breed. Mom and dad are black and tan German Shepherds. He was a King Shepherd, different hair, different color, different everything. He came back just as a girl. I didn't specify that. The exact same, doesn't look like his parents. Doesn't look at anybody in the litter. Looks like the one that I wanted. So think about that. That just in itself is amazing.
It is. I mean, I like I said, I don't. Molly came about in strange circumstances because, interestingly, nobody else wanted her. The owner had died, and while he was unwell, she had already stayed with me once, and he then sort of come out of hospital, took her back, and was trying to get one of his sons to look after her. But as soon as he passed away, the sons were just like, "Look, do you want her? Because we don't want her." And it was always it was very strange because the connection was instant. We just, from the very first moment we saw each other, we just clicked.
Do you have a picture?
Of Molly?
Where is she? Yeah.
I do have. Where's let's see if I can get what I've got on my phone. Give me a second. There's a picture behind me on a mug that somebody did.
Okay, I don't really know what that means, but what I'm getting is that she's asking me to ask you where's the daughter.
Where's the daughter?
Yes. I don't really know what that means.
No, nor do I. Can you see her?
Yes.
Yeah.
Her daughter. Your daughter. Her daughter. Where's her daughter?
I wouldn't know about her daughter.
She's missing a daughter.
Can you see there's another picture?
Yeah. Oh, she's beautiful.
You know, and
Um, I'm gonna tell her energetically, but when you have a talk with her, tell her that her daughter is fine.
yeah,
But her daughter was actually adopted by a good family, and her daughter has a little girl that she loves, and she's exactly where she's supposed to be. So this is the answer for your dog because she feels sad about she doesn't know what happened to her daughter.
yeah.
I don't know.
No, so I don't know her history. What I know is she was about 2 years old when the owner that I got her from, he sadly died, and he rescued her originally from an animal home, and she was about 2 years old when he got her, and he had her for about 6.5 years, and then I've had her for 4 now. So
She's very sweet.
she's lovely. Yeah, she is.
And yeah, she was your bird. That's so funny.
But yeah, I know the bird. I had I had this pet cockatiel when I was a kid that used to just sit on my shoulder.
You know, it's funny. They come back. We can't come back as animals. Animals cannot come back as humans. I don't know. I've heard people say that it's not possible. It's a completely different
Yeah.
dynamics in this matrix. But they can come back as a fish, as a bird, as anything from the animal kingdom. A lot of our dogs are actually, like I know my German Shepherds, they are dragons in Andromeda. They are protectors. We have these dragons that are
Yeah.
protectors. But not my Thea. She's a different than the other. Like you can see the difference in different dogs, different personalities. And it's funny because I think it has something to do with their original form. The bottom line has something to do with the original form. I think even we look like our original form through lives.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been quite fascinated by past lives, and where I've been and what I've done. I have done some past life regressions with other people under hypnosis, with some success. Some have not been successful at all, really, but some have been quite detailed. But it's definitely something I'd like to explore more.
It can be quite interesting, especially if you think about things that we run into this life, the way we react to things,
Yeah.
the way we go through our everyday life. I've been running into in the last couple of weeks, and I don't think it's just me. I think it's just happening on Earth in general right now, that our past life karmic experiences are clearing out. It's been amazing. I've been attracting so many of the clients that are showing up in my spa. I urge each and every one of them. I knew them from a past life. I recognize the experience, I recognize the energy, and I clear it. And I actually learned how to say, if I get a very uncomfortable feeling from a person, it happens. I learned how to say, I thank you, God, and thank you, my team, for showing me what I need to clear with this person, because I realize that's the reason why they're there. And the more unpleasant experiences, because I get unpleasant experiences, the more there is to clear from a past life. It hasn't been from this life. It's the past life. It's funny, I get the people that feel like all of a sudden they just, why is this person is sticking to me like a glue?
Yeah.
It's like, I wait a minute, I didn't do anything to this person. Why is this person, what do they want from me? And it's not that they want something from you, it's something in the past that needs to be cleared. There either needs to be forgiveness, or there's always something there.
Yeah, it's difficult though, isn't it? It's trying to help people understand what it is or what they can do to help themselves.
Oh boy, that's a very not a difficult subject. It's a matter of the person is willing to look inside themselves. For a person to understand himself or herself, you actually first have to take this step saying, okay, everything that's happening to me is not a fault of everybody else in the world. It's inside me. So what is it inside me that's causing this? Only then you can look inside yourself and correct it. But when you get like, I work with a lot of women, and I'm a victim. I actually hear, I'm a victim. This person did this to me, and this person did this to me, and this happened to me, and this happened to me, and poor me. And all I want to do is tell them, it's just an experience. It's only here to show you what you need to learn. It's a stepping stone. Look for the doors that are open. Forget the doors that close. The reason doors close is so you can find the open doors. But a lot of people don't want to hear it because they feel very comfortable in being a victim.
Oh, definitely. Massively.
So you can't teach everybody, or it is literally up to an individual. If they want help, if they want to feel empowered and better, they will. Just your vibration alone will do it. They'll feel good around you, and they'll be like, okay, what is it about this person that makes me feel good? How can I be like that? Or what is this about this person that I can take from them? So maybe I can cling on to them and they'll feel sorry for me. It is not your what do you call it? It is the person's choice how they want to go through their journey and live their life and experience you. We can only control ourselves. You're only in control of your own emotions and your reality and your universe, and I'm in control of mine. But I can't control emotions or whatever of another person, which I really wish I could. Like, snap my finger and say, okay, I want this person to love herself and stop focusing on all the negative wrinkles or whatever on the outside and look on the inside, because guess what? When you do that, you become younger on the outside. Everything happens in here. I get a ton of women that come in, and it actually amazes me. Okay, I'm a woman and I'm vain. Okay? And I see every little thing that might be wrong here or there. But I have learned that to fix that, I have to fix inner. I have to feel good about myself inside before I can like myself on the outside. We as a society of, selling cosmetics and selling anti-aging creams and selling this and selling that, it teaches you that you have to be perfect on the outside. But that's a part of the misdirection that you want to call it, the evil side wants to take. It's just a misdirection. So if you want to stay connected, Always look inside. And back to dogs. Our dogs or cats is the biggest connection to that love. If you don't know, if you have a day where you don't know how to love yourself, we all have those days where you just feel. Our animal, that love that we feel from them, it's always a reminder that it's there. It's the strength. It's like, it's never ending love. It's an unconditional love. It's why we love our animals so much.
Oh yeah, I mean, love for animals. Yeah, crikey, my dog is spoiled. Isn't probably the right word, but everything is based around her. So it's just my day is all around her routine, and yeah,
Can you hear the music in the background? Is it bothering you?
I can't hear it.
Okay, good.
But yeah, because I mean, the thing about Molly, one of the things I like the most is she'll just sit, like you say, she just likes sitting next to me. She doesn't want anything from me. She just wants to sit next to me.
And that's it, and they're happy because they're there for you.
Yeah.
They're here for us. Even, when my dog was dying, one of the things that I picked up from him was how much I knew he wanted to go.
Yeah.
He was tired of the body, but he did not want to leave me because he knew how much it was going to hurt me. And it wasn't until I actually realized that, okay, he would have stuck around. They stick around, and regardless of their little sacrifice, and feel sick and feel whatever, just to keep you from hurting. I have a woman right now. We already went through 2 dogs. So 2 dogs died and already came back, and it's a cat now. And she has a really hard time letting go. And the cat, so she calls me, Nina, what is he saying? His name is R2. She goes, what is R2 saying? He just looks at me and he looks so sad, and he goes and hides under the bed. I go, I'm not going to name a name. I go, he's tired. He does not want to, he's seen with the other, because she prolonged the other 2 dogs.
Yeah.
And he's scared that that's what you're going to do, that you're not going to let him go because he can just come back in a new body. They don't see it the way we do. We are afraid to die when we sit and get old, and God knows why we're afraid to die. I don't think I'll be for a second. But animals, they're not. They're like, I'd rather get out of this body and get into the new one, but I'll stick around for you. So I was like, you have to let him go. You have to tell him you're not going to keep him.
How would you
tell him? Yeah.
So I was just going to ask you, what advice would you give to people if they want to connect to their pets?
Feel them in your heart. That's where they are. You mean dead or alive?
No, alive. For people who've got pets and they want to sort of get that connection with them, that extra sort of connection.
Oh, it's in the heart.
Yeah.
It's always in the heart. Imagine just sit in front of your pet, or put your pet on your lap, or I don't know, it's a large pet. Just look at your pet and imagine, feel your heart, and then imagine there is a string that's coming from your heart to your pet's heart. And it's an unbreakable string. It's the love connection. Feel that string, and then you're going to feel your pet like you never did before. It's heart to heart.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Oh.
You can actually talk to your animals if you get out of your head. Like, we all can do that because we're all telepathic with them. We're all connected. It's just all these thoughts in our head. They keep running back and forth, back and forth. The gibberish, basically, they call it the gibberish because we've been taught that if you talk in your head to a dog, you're crazy. If you talk in your head to a ghost, you're crazy, or whatever. We all have that running in our heads because we've been told this through the TV, through the schools, through whatever. That is the gibberish. That's useless. Forget about it. Everything we've been taught. Feel. Feel what you feel. Starts with love. And connect to your pet. And that's all. It's simple. They don't have those thoughts running through their heads. All they do is feel.
That's probably a good place to stop. Thank you.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of you who have pets feel that connection that Nina talks about. And Nina isn't the first guest. I've had other guests that have mentioned before about the connection they have with their pets. And I've always felt that I have that type of connection with Molly. So let me know in the comments if you have a dog or a cat or a childhood memory, whatever, about a connection with a special pet. I'd love to hear about it. As always, wherever you are, whatever you believe, please do take care and be blessed. Thank you.